there if you want
My
more
name
of
is
Elisa.
Pam Rogers, and I'm the Director of Pure Vision Arts. I'm here today to introduce Elisa Huberman. She was born in the Bronx in 1989 and currently lives on City Island with her family. She's a prolific artist and has been creating art since she was a young child of 5 years old. In 2011, she began attending Pure Vision Arts, where she draws, paints, makes sculptural figures, and creates elaborate dioramas. Much of Elisa's inspiration comes from her fondness of animals. In addition to fine art, she is also a writer and illustrator of children's books. One, particularly titled The Odd Duckling, describes her own personal experiences being a child with autism. Elisa has given readings of this book to numerous enthusiastic audiences, and she has also created an animated short film to go along with it. The book is currently being published and will be available for purchase in the next few months. The Odd Duckling is a fable about autism inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's story of the Ugly Duckling. As a gifted young artist and writer, Elisa weaves her own personal narrative into the book. Her charming tale and beautiful illustrations provide meaningful insight into the unique perspectives on how children and adolescents with autism experience the world around them. It is an uplifting and inspirational story about a young duckling that is very different from the other farm animals and finds meaning and acceptance through art. Ultimately, The Odd Duckling is a tale of triumph over adversity and offers an inspiring, important message of hope and the power of creativity, which Elisa has realized in her own life. The Odd Duckling is entertaining and educational and inspiration to children and families affected by autism, and also to people who are neurotypical as well. In fact, Temple Grandin has written a quote for the book cover. She says, "Elisa's book will help kids who are struggling because they are different." She says, "I can relate to the Odd Duckling because even though I was different, I became respected by the other children due to my ability in art." So without further ado, Elisa Huberman will now read The Odd Duckling.
Thank you very much. I am Elisa Huberman, and I'll be reading you the story of The Odd Duckling. So this is the story of The Odd Duckling, and this is where we begin. Once upon a springtime, in the middle of a farm, there lived Mother Duck. She lived by the riverbank. She was resting and laying eggs. One day, her eggs began to hatch. She was overjoyed to see her ducklings. Look at all the eggs hatching, and out came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ducklings, all breathing life into a new day. Peep, peep, went the ducklings. But wait, one more egg was about to hatch. First it moved, and then it cracked and cracked slowly. And before you know it, ta-da! Out came the most odd-looking duckling of them all. He was blue and big and fluffier than his brothers and sisters. His feathers were blue, and his bill was blue. He waddled to Mother Duck and hugged her. His brothers and sisters were confused. Mother Duck led her ducklings to swim across the river to meet the new friends at the farm. All the ducks swam silently except for the Odd Duckling, who sang out loud. When they arrived at the farmyard, the other animals laughed at the duckling. "What a duckling!" they chortled. "We never saw a blue one before." It was true. The duckling was different than the rest. He had autism. was bothered by loud noises such as roosters crowing, cock-a-doodle-doo! He didn't like the same food as the other ducks. Instead, he preferred cookies and milk. Sometimes he impersonated the other animals by imitating their sounds. Listen. Hee-haw! Hee-haw! He was so obsessed with the sounds the animals made that at night he joined the puppies in the farm in a howling song and woke all the other creatures up. Arf, 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 arf. Arf, 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 arf. The Odd Duckling was often distracted by everything around the farm, such as bugs and squirrels and plants. He loved everything blue. Blue flowers, blue butterflies, and the blue water that matched his complexion. Mother Duck worried about the Odd Duckling. He couldn't stop singing and daydreaming. Well, what the duckling loved most of all was drawing. With his paints and paintbrushes, he painted on everything, including this cow. Moo! The Odd Duckling met a pig named Piggy Pig, and he asked to paint on him. Of course, replied the pig. Mr. Drake was going for a swim when all of a sudden he saw a pig with paint all over him. He was shocked. The Odd Duckling continued painting. He painted himself flying on the side of the farmhouse. Suddenly, Mr. Drake showed up and gasped in shock at the little blue culprit. "What have you done?" quacked Mr. Drake. "You painted on everything! You are in big trouble, boy!" And he bit the Odd Duckling in the neck and carried him off to the riverbank and let him go. Poor Odd Duckling. He was punished for painting on everything. He was so sad. Tears made ripples in the river as he swam. The Odd Duckling swam back to his nest. He continued crying all through the night, when who should appear but Piggy Pig and one of the farm puppies. They felt sorry for the Odd Duckling. "Oh, Piggy Pig," sobbed the Odd Duckling. "I am so ashamed. The truth is, I have autism. That's why I am different from my brothers and sisters." "Cheer up," said the puppy. "We can always tell how different you are from the other ducks. We think that makes you special, and we like you." The next morning, all the animals lined up to have the Odd Duckling paint on them, and everyone called him the most odd and most special duckling on the farm. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. So